Okay, good morning to everybody. Today we will learn actually what is definite integral and what's the uses of definite integral in economics, in business, in engineering. In previous lecture we have learned about the what is integral calculus, what is indefinite integrals, and we have learned different techniques for solving indefinite integrals. So today we'll learn what is definite integrals and the basic concepts of definite integrals and how to solve the definite integrals. Just for beginners, this. Actually, definite integrals is used for finding the area and definite integrals. And in economics, in business, you have to use these types of integrals for finding the consumer surplus and producer surplus, and the total revenue, total profit, total cost. You have to use these techniques. So especially for finding area and sum of the of any profit or any revenue, we have to use these types of integral, especially definite integral. Suppose this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, and suppose this is the curve y equals to f of x. So this curve actually divided this x-axis into three parts, and this is R1 area, and this is the R2 region, and this is the R3 region. So there are three regions, and we can find out this sum of these three areas by definite integrals, by using definite integrals. Suppose this coordinate, x coordinate is a, and this last one is b. That means we have to find out the integration from a to b. A is the lower limit and b is the upper limit. A is the lower limit and b is the upper limit, and we have to find out the area of f of x into dx. Dx means actually very small length along x-axis, and f of x means length on y-axis. So this indicates the area bounded by the region a to b. Okay, a to b. So for finding this a small area, and sum of these three areas, okay, is makes the total area. That means this area equals to will be what? R1 minus this minus y, because this is in negative axis of y. Okay, minus R1, and this is the positive region, so R3. So this sum will gives the total area bounded by the region a to b, and this is the actually mathematical implementation of definite integrals. So the area under the graph of a curve of a function, actually y equals to f of x is the graph of a function. Then how we can find the area under this curve? Let f be a non-negative continuous function on AB, because in our previous figure we saw from A to B. Okay, start from A and end with B. So this length we have to find out the total area between this interval. So a non-negative continuous function it will be, must be on AB interval. Then the area of the region under the graph of f will be what? A equals to total area will be limit and tends to infinity f of x1 plus f of x2 plus dot dot f of xn into del x. If we divide the whole curve into del x parts, then this sum will be give the total area, where x1 x2 dot dot xn are the arbitrary points in the n subintervals of AB of equal length. What will be what? Del x equals to b minus a divided by n. Okay, we can divide this interval with n parts, b minus a divided by n. So actually what is the definite integrals? Now let f be the continuous function defined on AB if limit, this limit, and if it a small area with del x with x1 and another small area with x2 f of x2 into del x, another area, last area what will be xn. Okay, with area f of xn into del x, and sum of this whole area of limits will give the total area. And there exist all choice of representative points x1, x2 dot dot xn in the n sub intervals of AB of equal length. Length will be n divides with b minus n. We are dividing this range in up to what? N parts. So then the limit is called definite integrals of f from a to b, and it's denoted by integration from the limit a to b. This is the a is the lower limit and b is the upper limit, and this f of x, y equals to f of x, y values, and this is the dx along x-axis. So length multiply breadth, okay, and this rectangle will give the total area under the curve y equals to f of x, and with the interval what? AB. So these definite integrals can be written as this limit, sum of these limits, okay. So the number a is the lower limit of the integration, and we have to remember that a is the lower limit of the integration and b is the upper limit of the integration. We have to remember this. Now integrability of a function. Every function can never be integrable. So you have to make, first of all, you have to make it integrable. Then we can integrate. So let f be a continuous on a AB interval. Then f is integrable on AB. That is the definite integral. If this definite integral is exist, then if this definite integral can be evaluated, or we will be able to find this integral, then the function will be integrable. Remember it. Now geometric interpretation of the definite integrals. If f is a non-negative and integrable on AB, then this definite integrals is equal to the area of the region under the graph of f on AB. Okay, we have seen in our first slide, this means what? Total area under the region of the graph of f on the same interval AB. Okay, this is the actually geometrical interpretation of definite integral. Remember it. Actually this this is the actually geometrical interpretation of definite integral, and these integrals actually indicate that this area, total area under the curve y equals to f of x in the same interval AB. Okay, interval will be what? A to b, and here A is the lower limit and b is the upper limit, and this is the definite integral, and geometrical interpretation will be this total area will indicate the definite integral. So this the actually geometrical interpretation of this. Now geometrical interpretation of the definite integral. The definite integral is equal to the area of the region under the graph of f on the interval AB. That means suppose x equals to a, start from here and end with b, x equals to b. So this total area, how we can find? Very interestingly, actually this area can be found by this indefinite integral from a to b. If we integrate this function y equals to f of x from a to b, then we get this total area. Very interesting. So just finding the integration of f of x, this curve f of x, this is the f of x curve, and this is the x equals to a and x equals to b. Between this interval we can find this red area. So this red area can be found by integrating a to b f of x dx. F of x means what? This curve, and dx means what? Actually x-axis length. If we divide this AB interval into an equal sub intervals, then every intervals will be dx. Okay, so a to b f of x dx will indicate this whole red area, and this is the geometric interpretation of this definite integral. If f is continuous on AB, we must know limit, function, and continuity. Continuity definition you must know. In our previous chapter we have learned about this, what is continuous function and techniques of finding continuity of a function. So if f is a continuous on AB, then this definite integral a to b f of x dx, this is the definite integral, remember it, and it's equal to the area of the region above AB minus the region below AB. If it's below AB, then it will be minus, and if it will be the above, then it will be positive. Okay, like this. Suppose the definite integral is equal to the area of the region above AB minus the region below AB. Suppose this is the R1 first region, and this is the second region, and this is the third region. This is the above region, and this is the below region. Okay, so below region will be minus, and above region will be positive. Okay, so these three regions, sum of these three regions will indicate the definite integrals a to b f of x dx. Just a to b f of x dx will be r1 minus r2 plus r3. R1 means first area of the region, first region, and R2 means second area of the second region, and R3 is the third area of the third region. So this is the actually geometric interpretation of the definite integrals. Now the fundamental theorem of calculus. Suppose this is the curve y equals to f of x. F of x equals to what? X square plus 2. Then we can, within this interval minus 2 to 2, we can find this red area by using integral calculus. The fundamental theorem of calculus, it is very important theorem. Actually, without this theorem, we cannot imagine the definite integrals. So let if f is a continuous on AB, then this integration, this definite integrals a to b f of x dx can be written as f of b minus f of a, where capital F is any antiderivatives of f, that is f of x will be the antiderivatives of f of x. Okay, antiderivatives must what? Indefinite integral. Okay. Example, let R be the region under the curve f of x equal to x on the interval 1, 3, and use the fundamental theorem of calculus to find the area of A of R and verify your result by elementary means. Suppose the graph shows the region is evaluated. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, and this is the y equals to f of x equals to x. This is the y equals to x curve, which is passing through the origin. Okay, y equals to x curve, and this is x equals to 1, and this is the x equals to 3. Okay, between 1 and 3 we are finding the area. So this is the red area we are finding between this interval 1 and 3, and this is the R region. Since f is non-negative on a 1, 3, the area of R is given by the definite integral of f from 1 to 3. Okay, so this is the definite integral given by this R between 1 and 3. Suppose the fundamental theorem of calculus we have a to b x dx, what will be 1, 2, 3 x dx. F of x equals to what? X. This is y. So integration what will be x square by 2. Okay, x integration what will be x square by 2. Then c plus c we have to use for indefinite integral, but remember this, we have to put this definite integral values 1, 2, 3 within third bracket, or this line 1, 2, 3. This is the upper limit 3, and 1 is the lower limit. Just we have to put 3 for 3 upper limit in replace of x. In replace of x, if we put 3, 9 by 2 plus c, then we have to use minus. After putting upper limit, we have to use minus sign. Then we have to put lower limit. Lower limit means what? X equals to 1. X equals to 1. Putting x equals to 1 here, we get 1 by 2 plus c. Then c will be cancelled, and this equals to area will be what? Only 4. Thus the area A is the region R and 4 square units. Just using the fundamental theorem of calculus, we have proved this area. Now remember that in definite integral, we constant cannot be used, because constant will be cancelled. This is why no need to use integral constant for definite integrals. Note that the constant of integration of c dropped out. This is true in general. Remember this, in definite integral we will not use in constant of integration. So this is this y equals to x, and this red area equals to 1 by 4. You must know, using elementary means, not that area equals to R1. This total area can be divided into two parts. One is R1 and other is R2, and this length what? 2, and this is length 1. So you must know base multiply height is the rectangle area, and triangle area what? Half into base multiply height. Okay, so R2 will be a triangle and R1 will be rectangle. In that case, in elementary method, we can find this area A equals to R1 plus R2, what will be 2 into 1 plus half into 2 into 2. Base equals to 2, height equals to 2. Okay, height equals to 1. Height equals to 1 for what? Rectangle. Height equals to 1 and base equals to what? 2. Okay, so we get 4. So in general method, we got 4, this red area. Now, example, find the area of the region under the graph of y equals to x square plus 1 from x equals to minus 1 to x equals to 2. Just there are two curves, y equals to x square plus 1. From this limit, we have to find out the area. Now, note that the full region are under the consideration lines of the above x-axis. This is the x-axis limits will be what? Minus 1 to 2. So this is the curve y equals to f of x equals to x square plus 1, and y, this is given function, and x equals to minus 1 to 2. We have to find out this red area. Okay, we have to find out this red area. Actually, how we can find this area? Okay, in economics or in business, we can find out the consumer surplus, producer surplus. Okay, using these types. So using fundamental theorem of calculus, we can find minus 1 to 2. Limit will be what? Minus 1 to 2, and f of x will be what? X square plus 1 dx. Just using definite integral method, we can find out x square integration what will be? X to the power 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. That means x cubed by 3. And 1 integration what will be? X. So we have to put this limit values within this line, minus 1 to 2. Okay, lower limit minus 1 and upper limit will be what? 2. Now putting upper limit here. Upper limit means what? X equals to 2. Putting x equals to 2 here, we get 1 by 3, 2 cube plus x equals to 2. Minus, we have to, after putting upper limit, we have to use minus. Okay, then putting lower limit, x equals to minus 1. We get this one. So area will be 6 in this case. Now net change formula. The net change in a function f over an interval a b is given by this. F of b minus f of a equals to a to b f dash x dx. That means actually this is the if f of x is integrable and continuous, then this integration can be written as f of b minus f of a, upper limit minus lower limit. Now evaluating definite integrals. Suppose y, this is the function f of x and this is the red area. How we can find out these types of area? Properties of definite integral. Let f and z be integrable function, then a to b f of x dx can be written as 0. A to a, upper limit and lower limit if equal, then the area will be 0. And a to b f of x dx can be written as minus integration b to a. Okay, if we can change the interval, lower interval to upper, upper to lower, then this will be negative. And if any constant will be multiplied with the function, then this can be written as like this. Okay, and this is the sum rule for definite integral. The sum of two functions can be written as their individual sum of their definite integrals. Okay, this is the actually properties of definite integrals. Suppose this a to b f of x dx can be written as this if we divide this interval at a b into sub intervals c to cb. Okay, a to c f of x dx and c to b f of x dx. C lies if c lies between a b. Okay, then this integration can be written as like this. Now, how to find the using substitution method? You must know substitution method. How to find out this integration 0 to 4 x root over 9 plus x square dx. Now, first of all, find that in indefinite integrals. First of all, you have to find out the indefinite integral x root over 9 plus x square without values. Okay, let u can be taken. Okay, 9 plus x square equals to u. Okay, substitute variable. So to substitute u equals to this differentiation, what will be du du what will be 9 will be 0 differentiation, and x square differentiation will be 20 x to the power 2 minus 1, that means twice x dx. So x dx means what? Half du. X dx means what? Half du. So after substitution we can write x dx equals to half du, then this can be written as half into root over u du. So half into root over u means what? U to the power half. So x to the power n formula can be applied here. So u plus half plus 1 divided by half plus 1. Okay. At last we have to put the value of u. U equals to what was 9 plus x square. Okay. This is the actually substitution method, and we have learned in our previous lecture. You can see from YouTube. Using the result, you can find the definite integral. This definite integral can be written as 1 by 3 9 plus x square, just putting definite values, upper limit and lower limit. So putting upper limit x equals to 4 in this function, we get this one. Then minus putting lower limit in this function, we get this one. In replace of x, we have to put the values. So we get this result. Similarly, we can find this by substitution method. Putting x cube plus 1 equals to u. Okay, putting x cube plus 1 equals to u, we get after differentiation du equals to what will be 3x square. So 1 by 3 du equals to x square dx. So x square dx can be written as what? 1 by 3 du. Okay, substituting. Then when x equals to 0, then lower limit u equals to what will be? We have to change this upper limit and lower limit. If x equals to 0, then the lower limit will be what? U equals to what will be from previous one? If u x equals to 0, then u equals to 1. And if u equals to 1, then if x equals to 1, upper limit, then u equals to what will be? 2. Upper limit will be 2. Okay. X equals to 1, then u equals to 1, and u equals to 2. So limit values will be changed. So du will be changed x square dx. So x square dx means du. Okay, x square dx 1 by u. This is 1 by u. X cube plus 1 equals to u. X square dx equals to 1 by 3 du. Okay, and limit will be changed 0 to 1, not 0 to 1. It will be 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 2. After substitution, limit values will be changed 1 to 2. Then 1 by u du. 1 by u integration what will be? Ln u. Okay, 1 by x formula what? Ln x. From formula table of formula, we can see 1 by x formula what? Ln x. So 1 by u with respect to u what will be? Ln u integration. And upper limit, lower limit will be this. Upper limit will be 2, lower limit will be 1. Just putting upper limit, we get ln 2 minus, after putting lower limit, we get ln 1. So log m minus log n, what will be? Log m minus log m by n, or log 1 equals to 0. We get 1 by 3 ln 2. This is very interesting method. You can find another example using method of substitution. You can find the region R under the graph of this from x equals to minus 1 to 1. From x equals to minus 1 to 1. This red area can be found out from this curve y equals to what? E to the power half x. E to the power half x. The graph of this region can be written as like this. So since f of x is always greater than 0, then the area will be minus 2 b f of x dx. Minus 1 to 1, x value is what? Minus 1 to 1, a to b e to the power half x dx. So to evaluate this integral, we can substitute x by 2 equals to what? U. X by 2 equals to what will be? U. Then du equals to will be half dx. So 2 du equals to only dx. So dx means what? 2 du and e to the power u. Okay, after substitution. When x equals to minus 1, u equals to minus half, and when x equals to 1, u equals to half. Just putting the values of x in u. So to substitute, dx equals to 2i's du along with the limits of integration, the area will be minus 1 to 1 e to the power half x dx can be find out e to the power u. Half x means what? U. So dx will be 2i's du. Then all transform to u. Remember it. And limit values also transform. When x equals to 1, u equals to half. When x equals to minus 1, then u equals to minus half. Okay, putting in the values of u. So we get this one, e to the power u du. Now e to the power u integration, what will be? E to the power u. E to the power x formula, e to the power x. No change. So just putting upper limit and lower limit in within bracket. Then just putting upper limit in replace of u, e to the power half. and minus putting lower limit e to the power minus half. So this approximately can be written as like this using scientific calculator. Now the techniques of finding the definite integrals. First example, this example, first example, minus 1 to 1 twice x square minus x cube dx. Okay, how we can find this definite integrals? First of all, we have to use the sum rule for this. Sum rule means what? Just we have to divide this integration and dx into two parts. This into minus, that means separating integration. Okay, now separating, just using constant multiple of function rule, we get 2 into integration. Integral value will be what? Minus 1 to 1 x square dx minus x cube dx, and integral limit will be same, minus 1 to 1. Now x square integration, what will be? X to the power x to and formula what? X to the power 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1, and integral limits will be within bracket minus 1 to 1 minus x to the power 3 plus 1 divided by 3 plus 1 minus 1 to 1 integral limit. So x, this will be what? X cube. Okay, and 2 plus 1 will be 3, so 2 by 3 constant, and constant will be put it there, minus 1 by 4. This is the 3 plus 1 means what? 4, so 1 by 4 will be separated, and x to the power 4. So integral limit will be minus 1 to 1. Okay, now putting upper limit x equals to 1 in this here, we get 1 cube. Okay, then after putting upper limit, we have to use minus sign, then putting lower limit in replace of x, so x equals to minus 1. Okay, now another part minus this, and this for this part 1 by 4 second bracket, putting upper limit x equals to 1 to the power 4 minus then lower limit x equals to minus 1 to the power 4. So 1 cube means 1, and minus 1 cube means what? Minus 1, because this is the odd number. If the power is odd, then the negative exponent, for the negative exponent, the negative minus will be not exist. So minus will be plus, minus this minus, and 1 by 4, this 1 by 4, 1 to the power 4, 4 means what? 1, and minus 1 to the power 4 means 1, because this is the even power. This is why minus will be not exist. So 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1 means what? 0. So 1 by 4 into 0, and 1 1 2. Okay, so 4 by 3 is the result for this definite integral. Okay, now another example, example 2 from text. 2 to 4, upper limit 4, lower limit 2, thrice x minus 2 whole square dx. Actually, these types of integration, how we can find or evaluate? Suppose a minus b whole square formula we can use here. We can use a minus b whole square formula. Thrice x means a, and b means what? 2. So a minus b whole square means what? A square minus twice ab plus b square. Okay, so a square minus 12b plus b square dx. Now just using the sum rule of integrations, 3 square means 9x square, 2 3 6, 6 2 12, 2 square 4. So using sum rule we can, and constant multiple rule, we can write 9 multiply definite integral of x square dx 12 into definite integral this part x dx plus 4 into definite integral integration of 1 dx. Okay, now x square integration, what will be? X square 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1, and upper limit will be 4, lower limit is 2. It will be within third bracket. Okay, minus 12 x integration, what will be? X to the power 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1. That means x to the power n formula. Okay, power rule. Using power rule, we get this plus 4 into integration of 1, what will be x, and upper limit 4, lower limit 2 in everywhere. Now this can be written as x cube by 3. 9 by 3 would be constant x cube, and here x square 12 by 2. Okay, and x putting upper limit 4 in the place of x 4 minus putting lower limit. Okay, so putting upper limit in replace of x, that means we get 4 cube. Then we have to use minus after putting upper limit, then putting lower limit x equals to 2, that means 2 cube. 12 by 2 means what? 6. X equals to 4 whole square minus putting lower limit x equals to 2 whole square. Okay, then here 4 minus 2 means 2, so 4 to the 8 here. So here 4 cube means 64, 2 cube means 8. Okay, and 6, 12 by 2 means 6, and 4 square means 16, 2 square means 4. Then taking after simplification, we get 104 result. Okay, now another example 3. Integral limits will be minus 3 to 1, minus 3 to minus 1. Upper limit will be minus 1 and lower limit will be minus 3. 1 by x square minus 1 by x cube dx. How we can find this definite integral? First of all, using sum rule, 1 by x square can be written as x to the power minus 2, and 1 by x cube can be written as x to the power minus 3. Okay, from third and indices, you must know these rules. So x to the power n formula, putting power rule, x to the power 2 plus minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1, and here x to the power minus 3 plus 1 divided by minus 3 plus 1. Just putting upper limit and lower limit within brackets. Now minus 2 plus 1 means minus 1. Okay, so this will be minus 1 and x to the power minus 1, and here x to the power minus 2, and minus 3 plus 1 means minus 2. So minus and minus what? Plus. So plus half. This will be plus half. So putting upper limit, x to the minus 1 can be written as 1 by x, and x to the minus 2 can be written as 1 by x square. Now putting upper limit, x equals to minus 1, 1 by minus 1, minus putting lower limit, x to the power 1 by x to the 1 by minus 3, plus half. 1 by x square means what? Minus 1 square. Okay, x to, putting upper limit, minus, then putting lower limit in this function, 1 by minus 3. Okay, so just after simplification, minus minus will be this will be minus 1, this is minus plus 1 by 3, and plus half, and 1 by minus 1 square means only 1. Okay, minus 1 square means 1. So this means what? 1 by 9, minus 1 by 9. So minus minus plus 1, and 1 minus 1 by 3, and half, and 1 by 18. After taking LCM 18, we get this result 10 by 3. 10 by 3 will be the values of this definite integrals. Actually, we have solved now this one. Similarly, we can find the definite integral 1 to 4 dx root over x. This root over x can be written as x to the power half. Okay, x to the power half, and 1 by x to the power half can be written as x to the power minus half. Then using power rule, x to the minus half plus 1 divided by minus half plus 1, we get this. Okay, then putting upper limit and lower limit, we get this result. Similarly, 5 can be written 1 by x plus 2. 1 by x formula what? Log x. Here x means what? X plus 2. Okay, x means x plus 2. Just 1 by x formula log x using tables of formula of tables. So 1 by x formula log x plus 2. So putting upper limit in the place of x, what will be? Log 10. Okay, putting minus, putting lower limit, log 8, log m minus log n, formula what? Log m by n, that means log 3 by 2. Very easy result. Now log x what will be? Formula of actually this indefinite integral I have evaluated in our previous lecture. Indefinite integral indefinite integral of log x, what was? X log x minus x. Okay, first of all we have to find out the indefinite integral of log x using UV rule. Okay, multiple function of rule, multiple of two functions rule. So we get this one. Just putting upper limit and lower limit, we get the definite integrals. Now sin x formula what will be? Minus cos x. Okay, sin x formula minus cos x. Then putting upper limit and lower limit, and using calculators, you will get this result. Similarly, minus 2 to 3 e to the power minus x by 2. Actually, I have solved it by substitution method the earlier of this lecture. So just e to the power x formula, e to the power x, just we have to divide with the coefficient of x, that means minus half. We have to divide with the coefficient of x, that means dividing by minus half, we get this result. Then putting upper limit and lower limit, we get this result after using scientific calculator. Okay, so I hope everybody will practice this. Then you can you'll be able to find how to what is definite integral, what is the geometrical interpretation of definite integral, then what will be the uses of definite integrals. Okay, what will be the uses of definite integrals, and what are the how to find the definite integrals by using substitution method. Okay, so actually thanks to everybody, and if you do practice, and I hope it will be fruitful for you. So we have learned here actually what is definite integral, what's the geometrical interpretation of definite integral, what the uses and application of definite integrals in business and economics, and we'll try to find out some definite integrals by using different methods of integration. And we also discussed about the properties of definite integrals. Okay, so do practice. Thanks to everybody.